Based Mangaka destroyed the modern audience. Oh boy. 3, 2, 1.
Over on the channel here, we've talked about this new manga, Drama Queen, a few times, and how the modern audience types
The racism against aliens, a fantasy plot.
are extremely offended by this manga, having mental breakdowns over it all over social media. Well, the latest chapter, that being chapter 3, released a few days ago, and things are not getting better for them. As a matter of fact, they're even more upset now. On top of their terminally online tears, we've also now got some of these localizer types getting involved, attempting to change some of the subject material. So
Localizers can go suck a fat wiener. I mean that in the nicest way possible. Please stop doing this. I would rather not understand a small tidbit of culture that comes from Japan than you literally twisting the meaning to accommodate Western standards. No, please stop. Please, you need to stop. I would rather learn about Japanese culture than you trying to accommodate to me. I don't want to deal with it. I actually find it more immersive when I have to learn about the culture of the anime that it is set in.
really quick explanation of Chapter 2 and Chapter 3 for the context here. Chapter 2 begins with Kitami having a flashback of how his family was eliminated by aliens in a hit-and-run accident.
And you just know some person out there on Twitter is gonna take this and be like, so alien means immigrant, and people hate immigrants, and that makes this guy a giga racist. They're gonna like extrapolate or like exaggerate this into like, this guy's a racist.
The one that was mentioned in Chapter 1, and showing how the aliens didn't care at all, and no one did anything about it. Returning to present time, Kitami and Namamoto continue planning how to eliminate more aliens. Then going out together and looking for their next group of aliens to dispose of. To which Kitami finds a group of them and like one-shots the entire group, bringing the bodies to Namamoto, who of course does her thing. These things are crazy good raw. Some people have speculated that she might not be entirely human herself, given her like insane appetite for these disgusting aliens and how much of them she can eat, plus her sharp teeth and stuff like that. And yeah, that might be the case. We need to see how that all plays out. Anyways, Chapter 2 ends with this seemingly detective sort, this like cop dude, already catching on to Kitami and Namamoto. This caused the modern audience to get a lot of hope. A lot of hope that, indeed, the mangaka is going to paint Namamoto and Kitami out as these terrible villains that are going to get caught by this good cop.
And those are the same people that say fuck all cops at the same time in the real world. Yeah.
Basically, they were saying all sort of stuff like that, which ended up being cope. Because in Chapter 3, we find out that that alleged detective cop guy isn't actually a detective cop guy. He is in fact running an organization, or at least a part of one. I need to go back and reread that, but he's a part of an organization that assassinates aliens. So now they're extremely upset that the manga's like doubling down on like killing aliens and all that, because once again they're viewing these aliens as apparently supposed to be like,
no, I can't own the Chuns. No,
like literal depictions of real life immigrants. So when they see like, you know, lines on paper, to them it's like the same thing as real life. These people can't, they literally can't depict fiction from reality. Now, of course, you might think, and you're welcome to your opinion, that this manga is anti-immigration. And, you know, people in Japan are allowed to have their opinions. As I said before, Japanese...
And then again, it's these Western freaks terminally online freaks that don't even engage in, like, society that try to make this out to be something that it's not. You posted this 3 days ago on YouTube. My brother, it's not. Stop posting that fucking... No, this is a different video. This wasn't even out 3 days ago! God damn it!
These people criticizing what immigration may do to their country doesn't make them a bigot, despite what some of these terminally online people want to say. especially with all this stuff that's been going on with nuisance tourism and these Johnny Somali types that have been causing a lot of ruckus in the country. But I digress. The point is, whatever way someone views the manga, whether that's anti-immigration, anti-colonialism, etc., various arguments have been made for this stuff. It is still ultimately a...
And again, Japan is so much more xenophobic than America. America's a melting pot. Japan is what, like 99, maybe like 97% Japanese? Like, they don't really get immigrants. People who are half black, half Japanese get so much shit in their society. And they're the integrated ones, even if they're born there.
Manga, it is still ultimately not real. So it's hilarious to me how these terminally online people are trying to say that anyone who's enjoying this manga is like literally Hitler, that they're just literally like extremely racist, and blah 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 blah. And that's all especially hilarious to me because I don't care about any deeper meaning or whatever that this manga may or may not have. There's simply three main reasons why I'm enjoying this manga. One, because it's simply entertaining. Two, because Namamoto herself is also...
I like the way they're drawn, and she's like a tomboy. I like that. She's a tough, rough and tough tomboy.
Entertaining, and her character design is awesome. Her hairstyle kind of reminds me of like Venti's. But that aside, I like the whole character design. She looks very cool. And three, the icing on the cake, or the icing on the alien, you could say, how it's offending the modern audience types. That's always a wonderful bonus. Anyways, so in chapter 3, Namamoto runs into her alien neighbors, and she's of course fantasizing what she wants to do to them. Of course,
I was a good boy today. Where's my sugar, honeybee? My darling doesn't just call me honey, but his honeybee instead. Isn't he so creative? I don't know, they're drawn really cutely. This is so funny to me. And then she eats them. Wow, totally, what a delicious sounding nickname. And then she's like salivating. What the hell?
That being to devour them, you know how she is. And that's where that so not cute. A detective guy says, "You're coming with me," and puts a collar on her, then drags her over to Kitami and is like, "You'll also be coming."
This is someone's fetish. Gross.
With me, and they go and have some food together. Not alien though, they're just like having normal food. And dude explains that he's a part of an alien assassinating organization, that there are actually some other humans who have the same viewpoints that Namamoto and Kitami have regarding these aliens. And he's super, super impressed that they've been able to dispose of these aliens without like any evidence being left behind, because they haven't really found a good way to do that. They've tried like turning them into cement, turning them into concrete.
What? I'll tell you how we do it. Put the bodies into the crusher, mix it with concrete, then pour that into the ground. But even then, we can't seem to fully be rid of the stench. No matter how deep we bury them, the smell of death and decay makes its way to the surface. Oh, so when they eat them, it doesn't smell. That's smart.
Pouring that on the ground, but it doesn't really work because eventually
they make McDonald's.
A problem. So he really wants to know what their secret is. The secret, of course, being that
Wait, that actually reminds me of that Futurama episode where Fry finds those like chicken nuggets in the ground, and it's just alien babies, and then the aliens are pissed because they're eating the babies, and they make like a franchise out of them. Yeah, the poplars. Yeah, they're tasty.
Namamoto is eating the alien bodies.
Yeah, make it look
but Kitami makes sure that Namamoto and himself don't tell this person that they keep it a secret for now, you know, having some leverage in these negotiations. Anyways, long story short, they have a lot of discussions about this stuff, but we're skipping to the end now. Namamoto and Kitami agree to help this guy and his organization out, and they get their first target, becoming official alien assassination hitmen people. Their target is like some rich alien at a super nice hotel. And so we will see how this first official mission goes for them next chapter, it seems. Okay, now with all the context there, let's get to the modern audience's reaction to the latest chapter. Over on the subreddit Manga, and their post for chapter 3 of Drama Queen, where you can see top comments such as, "So we're going from casual xenophobia to professional xenophobia." A response reading, "Yep, I think I've..."
Bro, these are the same people that say orcs are black people in like fucking Warhammer or World of Warcraft, man. And they want them to like change how orcs behave in World of Warcraft because it's like you're just like making stereotypes of black people. It's like, what are you talking about? Are you implying all black people are savages or something, or war-hungry fucking aliens? It's so fucking retarded. Why is that even a thing?
Given this manga enough of a chance. Ah well, at least there's one less manga to catch up to on Sundays. Another one saying, I'm really disappointed the manga went this route. Like, what the heck? How convenient. They can keep being racist.
Reddit is such a horrible place if you want to have discussions, man. It's funny to read about it, but like actually engaging in discussions is just an echo chamber of like spewing shit and then getting self-fulfilled in the same like way from other people, just beating each other off constantly.
So that's going to be the story? Our protagonist joining an organization to kill aliens? I don't know how I feel about this. You could read the first...
I'm feeling so bad about this fictional character. Motherfucker, go outside and put the fries in the motherfucking bag!
First 2 chapters and still have some room for doubt that the story is actually on the character's side. But now, it seems like their point of view actually has a bigger backing than just some disgruntled racists. I don't know if I even like reading this, but I'm still curious where they're taking this, so I'll give it till chapter 10. They get a response from someone that in part says, all we've seen so far is aliens being a bunch of goofs that can be mildly annoying sometimes. And like I said before, anyone can have their opinion on what this manga is supposed to depict. However, it's really weird how the people offended by this manga continue to downplay the behavior of the aliens. Like, murdering a family in a hit and run isn't just like mildly annoying and being a goof. There was the alien boss that Namamoto and Kitami had.
No, they just memory hold it because it's convenient for their narrative. That's what they love to do. Like, yeah, it's essentially them likening it to real life so they can't like justify it in their head to like basically think like that. It's mental gymnastics of like Olympic grade levels.
Who was physically abusing his human employees and seemingly even willingly not turning on the air conditioning just to make things even more uncomfortable for them in the factory. But hey, according to some of these Redditors, that's just a goofy behavior right there. That's all that is. And another comment was basically saying, I'm still really hoping that the manga is playing us, and the mangaka really isn't a racist. To which there was this response, I don't know. I really have not got the feeling of the author playing us for any of this, like people say they feel. To me, the only 2 ways this works out is that the author is playing us, but in a way that just isn't clear. And
why can't you just read the manga and if you don't like it, put it down? Again, I had my moments when I was younger where I hated something like a manga or an anime, and I wrote like an angry review, but it just kind of left my mind after I posted. It's like a venting mechanism. These people are terminally and chronically online to the point where they have to log in and like feed into the emotional anger and like, I guess, ultimately kind of depression of feeling like this over a fictional piece of content. You're allowed to have your opinion, but when you dedicate your entire personality and like try to justify how you feel and likening a fantasy setting to real life, you have a fucking problem.
And won't be satisfying, or they aren't, and is just a huge racist. I'm leaning towards the later, just from the general vibe so far being real bad. And they would get a response that says, yeah, the vibes I'm getting from this is that we're supposed to cheer for them killing the aliens. And another one of the most terminally online takes is coming right up after this one that reads,
and that's such cope because like I feel bad for the aliens that are cute and get slaughtered. Like, look, where they do the honey shot, it's like, oh honey, you look delicious, and oh, these cute little names. Like right here, where is it? Well, anyway, there's a cute shot, and they're drawn cutely, but at the same time, they're assholes. It's almost like people are like that, no? Food for thought.
I really don't see how you get this vibe, considering how we've been shown so far that their targets are all pretty harmless and guilty of minor annoyances at worst, while both main characters...
Yeah, but you don't know that. You don't know what that alien did. They look cute and harmless at the time.
Constantly make up reasons for hating them. Yeah, because, you know, having your family murdered and being abused by the aliens, that's just making a reason up. Now, if they were to phrase that like, maybe the MCs are crazy and they imagine that stuff happening, their point would have more validity to it, in my opinion, but like, they're not phrasing it like that at all. They're phrasing it as if it's a fact that they're only making things up, when so far they've had actual reasons for hating the aliens, not just stuff that they're making up as this person says. But here's where it gets even crazier. This response, with more upvotes than the other comments got, says, you and the people who are not racist and insane see their reasons for killing the aliens to be petty and pointless. You are objective correct. However, there are people who do legitimately hate immigrants for the reasons the protagonists give.
are you likening aliens in fictional content to immigrants? Immigrants don't just get fucking ported out of the sky into, like, fucking the country, man. It's not even likened to that, bro. Jesus Christ.
Word for word. And not only has there not been a character who disagrees with them, but the protagonists are being rewarded for their behavior, even though they messed up too. Okay.
Next they're gonna liken to them to, like, the fucking Border Patrol or some fucking dog shit. Holy fuck. Yeah, this is like an allegory for Border Patrol. The only thing they're not explicitly saying is, like, fucking, like, Mexicans or something. Like, oh, those damn Mexican immigrants. That fucking detective guy, he's like the Border Patrol for Texas.
So let's pause right there. According to this Redditor, if you are finding amusement from this manga, if you are finding entertainment from this manga and are cheering Namamoto on because she's entertaining, this person says you're actually racist and insane. What a terminally online take that is. As I mentioned before, some of these people, a lot of these people, can't separate fiction from reality. Continuing with this brain rot post, Redditor goes on. I've said this before, but the vibes sound like, oh well, killing them is a little extreme, but I get the feeling. It's too sympathetic toward them. People who believe in what protagonists believe are nodding to themselves. Yeah, that's how it feels. This manga gets me.
Chat, you have to remind yourself that some of these people don't get above the emotional level of, like, 1 or 2 out of, like, 6. 6 is, like, being empathetic and accepting that your emotional understanding of other people is lesser that of what is lesser that of something that you will never understand, even if you get to know a person. You can be the most empathetic person and try to put yourself in someone else's shoes, but you will never be them. Whereas if you are level 1 or 2, nothing else matters outside of your little bubble of, like, interacting with friends and family and thinking you get them as much as you get yourself. They're on a very low emotional intelligence level. Because this person unironically wrote, yeah, that's how it feels. This manga gets me. That's not how normal people think. Like, normal people are on the scale of, like, 3 or 4, right? This person is below that. Are they saying the readers are jerking to killing the aliens because they're chuds and want to see immigrants deleted? This is unhinged. Yes, that's literally what I'm trying to say. Like, they are not there on a fundamental level of understanding how human psychology works. They live in their circle. They don't interact with anyone except maybe, like, friends and family. Their understanding of the world is, like, it's non-existent. All they care about is sticking it to the chud, and everyone who is thinking unlike them is a chud who hates immigrants in real life.
If the girl was the only protagonist, I'd say it'd be obvious that she's just insane and incredibly lucky. But the boy? He is genuinely too sympathetic.
What?
Too measured. He has a tragic backstory where aliens ruined his life. He kills in cool ways, and this chapter establishes that he is genuinely strong and good at killing aliens. Relatively, he did get caught.
What about, like, mangas where people kill each other because of, like, backstory and they're actual people? For, like, their own reasons. Isn't that the whole point? Like, if we go this from, like, a philosophical perspective, killing is bad because you're not doing anything good in the long run. You're just continuing the cycle of killing because you think it's right and the other party thinks they're right. So you just end up basically, like, fighting each other forever. Like, what? My brain.
Ironically, him having any guilt and doubt for his actions paint him as too reasonable for what he's doing, especially when he is, again, not only not challenged, but encouraged to think the way he does. The only consequences he faces so far is that if he does not help the organization that professionally murders people for no reason, he'll die, which isn't a consequence because he wants to kill people for no reason. If he turns against the organization, it's not because he realized that killing people is wrong. It's because his life is at risk. Imagine in Death Note that L is completely 100% in support of Kira, immediately knows Light is Kira, and gives him a database of all the names he could possibly need. That's this story so far. Okay.
Oh my god, they completely lost the plot. They completely actually fucking, like, lost the plot comparing Death Note to this, while comparing aliens to IRL immigrants. That's crazy work, man.
Okay, so dude actually gave a hilarious fanfiction idea right there. I wouldn't be surprised if someone actually wrote that. That seems like
I'm sure they
a fun
did.
one to read. Freaking L finds Kira. He's like, yeah, actually, I agree with you. I'm gonna help you, like, any way I can. Hey, Watari, get the names from the database. Like, just give them all to Kira. Someone.
You'd literally be skipping the entire. You'd be skipping the entire plot, but whatever. Like, I get it. Haha, very funny.
Then respond to that person with a very lengthy
So dumb.
response that then devolved into a number of lengthy comments. Way too much stuff for me to cover here. Like, just reading all that alone would probably double the length of this video. However, there is this little gem of a response from the upset person right here, where the Redditor disagreeing with them had said, bro trying so hard to label someone as racist just to try to win an internet argument, which the angry person from the comment that we just read a moment ago.
Oh my god. Essaying.
Says to that person, imagine caring more about if something is called racist than racism. If the worst thing that happens to you is being called a Nazi, you're probably completely okay with actual Nazis.
So if someone calls you a Nazi, even if it's not true, if you get mad, that means you're okay with the Nazis. Like, even if you're, like, the nicest person ever and you love everyone, if someone calls you a Nazi, it has validity because you get mad at them. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Flawless logic, of course.
Yeah, let me just run that back one more time.
Yeah.
They said, if the worst thing that happens to you is being called a Nazi, you're probably completely okay with actual Nazis. Obviously, they're also using, like, worst thing that happens to you facetiously here. At least in my opinion, what they really mean is, like, if someone calls you a Nazi and you don't like that, then you're probably okay with actual Nazis. Bro seriously needs to get off Reddit. Seriously needs to go outside. I know that whole touch grass thing was, like, left behind in 2022. But just for the splittest of seconds, let's bring that back. Because yeah, that Redditor really needs to go touch grass. Ultimately, those were a few of the top responses from people angry with Chapter 3. Of course, there's many more examples, but let's move on.
It's because the word has lost its meaning and now it's just perpetually cycling in chronically online, Twitter, Reddit, like social media culture, to the point where it's just completely just devolved into, like, being a word that people use if you don't agree with them. Yeah, like, my grandparents, my grandpa fought Nazis in Germany, but I am a Nazi according to a lot of people on, you know, social media somehow. Yeah, it's just some word that people use to disagree with you. Or, like, bigot. Bigot's another really big one.
To the localizer situation, as I generously received this tag from Hiding Laser, who says, Drama Queen, what happened? New issue of Drama Queen just dropped and I decided to read the whole thing from the start, and they changed this panel on Manga Plus. The original panel I found was on Manga Pill, which was from Manga Plus, giving me a tag right there and including 2 screenshots from Drama Queen Chapter 1, in which we can see originally Namamoto had this line saying, I hate him, just like I hate women who call their boyfriends their partner, which was then changed to say, I hate him, just like I hate women who use pet names for their boyfriend.
What? I hate women who call their boyfriends their partner.
And changed to say, I hate him, just like I hate women who use pet names for their boyfriends, removing.
But that changes the meaning of the sentence. That literally is a mistranslation. Like, as someone who got into, like, linguistics at an early age out of curiosity, this literally changes the meaning, bro. Like, what's even the point? I don't know. I think it's because, like, the word partner is overused in the West, and they don't like the negative connotation with saying that they don't like to use the word partner for boyfriend. So they changed it just to spite them for their own personal agenda.
The partner line, Any making a tweet about that situation saying just check the official translation, they went back and localized this line. A response saying the Japanese is unchanged at least, the old translation was one-to-one accurate. Another response pointing out how even with the full context, this change does not make sense at all. And I'm also confused about this.
Yeah, it genuinely does.
As we all know, unfortunately, English localizers often change things that they are offended by. This has resulted in many viral situations in the past where they have received immense backlash. This one does seem to be particularly confusing though. Other people would also question why anyone would be upset at that line in particular. This is currently up for speculation. Let me know what you think in the comments. Again, the context to this is Namamoto saying that
No, it's not drama queen. It's not about being upset. It's that you're not honoring the actual context of what is being said. It doesn't even make sense because they didn't even change the context of the previous sentence that is in relation to what he was saying. It doesn't make sense.
She hates women who call their boyfriends their partners. So potentially a localizer who really likes the word partner would get offended by that and want to change it or something. It's a very bizarre situation. However, as we've also seen, there's already been many bizarre reactions to this manga. And that's where I'll leave it for today. Let me know what
I get if it's gender neutral. Like I'm fine with people saying, "Oh, that's my partner over there." Okay? Like if you are LGBT and you want to use that term, but like I don't find it interesting. I don't find it like cute or interesting when like a girl and a boy who are straight and they call each other partner. I always thought that was really, really weird. Again, it's your prerogative, it's your relationship, but I always kind of like, I took a step back. I'm like, it's your partner or it's your partner of like 15 years. I don't know. Like, you're not married and you've been partners for 10, 15 years. I always thought that would be so weird to hear. I had a teacher that would say that kind of thing, and I would just be like, isn't that your husband or your wife or whatever? It's like, partner. I don't know. It's just English, I guess, but again, it's just my nitpick. It's nothing against other people. It's my opinion.
What you think about all this drama queen backlash. Hope you enjoyed my coverage, and if you did, consider liking and or subscribing. Appreciate ya, and I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that was a good yap and a dap. That was a good yap.
I got bribed to make this video twice.
Jesus!
Over on the channel here,
You scared the fuck out of me. Holy shit, Coffeezilla jump scare. Oh my god. Holy smokes. What was that? Oh, anyway, go check them out. Hero Hey, very nice, very cool. Like that.
Oh, yeah.